Welcome back to the Flat Chat, everyone. I'm Cal. I'm here with Jacob and Heggie. Of course, we have just had a midweek game week in the Premier League. 10 games, of course. Some exciting scores. So we're quickly going to kind of review them while we're doing our predictions for the upcoming game week. Game week 6, is it? So game week 6. So we'll do our predictions for that while talking about the games we've just watched over the last couple of days. So yeah, of course, first game is Jacob's team Everton in Merseyside derby against Liverpool. So we will discuss that, but quickly on Everton and Liverpool in their last couple of games, what do we think about how they did?
I mean, since it's fresh in the mind, talk about Liverpool and how lucky getting a 98th minute equaliser and just playing until they scored it, basically. That's what it seemed like, didn't it?
It did. I have seen a lot of people saying, though, that the amount of time that was wasted was... I mean, Pope and Joe Linton were down for a combined 2 minutes.
I mean, every match should be played way longer. It's just the fact that a lot of matches, a lot of refs don't show that bottle that ref did and actually play the time that should be there. That's very true. And that's the inconsistency. That's
always the problem. So they think you can still call it fair time, can't you?
I saw a stat where it was when the ball went out for the corner, it was the exact amount of time that was wasted in extra time, added time.
Yeah, the corner then that they scored from.
Yeah.
But do they stop? Do the referee stop?
I mean, that's
the question.
I sent Egg a video of a ref blowing the whistle as Accrington Stanley put the ball in the net, and I said that if I was the ref, I'd have done the exact same thing. As he volleys it off the bar, I'm in there blowing that whistle. There we go.
It does depend on the referee, I guess, as well, and maybe the pressure of playing at Anfield as well. I mean, to get
that Isak looked
he did look good. He did look good.
That's a signing.
Even the goal that was offside. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
he does the same finish. High into
hitting it so hard.
Yeah,
it's like an Mbappe type finish. I feel
that's exactly what I said last night, didn't I?
Yeah.
He just looked lethal, Mbappe.
So fair play at Liverpool getting the win there. That's them now on, I want to say,
I'm not
8 points. Yeah, 8 points. So that's a big win
7
for
behind
them.
Arsenal.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, but of course, they were lucky though.
Lucky, but that's what good teams do.
Yeah.
Win without being the better team.
On to Everton.
I don't know if you guys watched it, but against Leeds we looked okay.
We watched the first half.
We turned it off.
I see if I could, I would do that as well. Yeah, the ball's in play for about half the game.
Jacob sent me a stat though.
I saw it as well.
Yeah.
See, they even moaned about this on the commentary. No. The commentary moaned about it as well, and they were counting the amount of time that Pickford wasted as well. It was incredible amounts of time that your goalkeeper wasted.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that your actual time in play was the highest in any game.
Yeah, it was the highest
for
Leeds game.
Yeah,
Leeds, that's their highest.
So
They've been moaned about it so much.
The point is the Leeds also time waste. That's what probably more than.
They're the sort of team that do it where you're not actually that great at football, so you got to try and find other ways to win. But no, we looked good. Scored the first goal again, and then dropped points again. But another Gordon goal. He looks like I mean, we've got, as we're recording this, there's about an hour left of transfer window, but Gordon looks like he's staying, and it looks like he's picked up 2 great goals in 2 weeks. So. Fingers crossed he scores again on Saturday.
Massive. It's the game to do it.
It's the game to do it.
What did you think about Everton and Liverpool?
Everton, good result because Leeds have been pretty good. Liverpool just grinded out a result and they probably shouldn't have got a result. So it's a good sign for them. And this week I think they will win.
Liverpool?
Yeah.
You think the same?
I do think the same. I think... But on this one, I think Everton have been a lot better defensively this season, which has surprised me. I think they're struggling for goals.
Brought in centre halves.
Tarkovsky and Cody, good additions.
Yeah, not unbelievable centre halves, but they're like mid-table Premier League centre halves, and we've not had that.
Also, you get Mina out, you've Godfrey out, but
Holgate's out as well.
Yeah, that's why you bring these players, and that's a good cover there. You've got a lot of good cover there.
I mean, I think it'll be a draw. I think Liverpool haven't obviously been amazing this season. I know they've now won 9-0 and then they're going to have that high of winning last minute, but I can see us somehow sneaking something. We finally got a striker. Mapai might start. Idrissa Gueye in the door. Could be something.
Could be interesting. I've also gone for a 3-1 win to Liverpool. As I said, I do think that Everton look better defensively.
Yeah.
But I think Liverpool are they need to get the results. I think they will. I have gone for the most amount of goals from Liverpool, which is surprising with what I'm saying here, but I think Everton are better defensively.
But Liverpool are probably top 5 best teams in the world right now. Everton are lucky to be top 20 in England.
Yeah, but also I think that Everton will get a goal because I just think it's Merseyside derby. Yeah. You never know. And as you said, Gordon, I wouldn't be surprised.
The fact that it's Goodison as well makes me.
Yeah,
I think the fans are going to be right up for it.
Of course,
it's going to be a horrible game.
Yeah, but the other thing is, I think this could quite easily be a 0-0 bore fest, and Everton could do their job.
Take that.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
Ball in play for 26 minutes or something.
Right, I'll take that right now. So you've gone for a draw 1-1, I've gone 3-1, and of course you've gone for 2-0 Highgate. Of course the other scores, we'll get them up on the screen for you. We're waiting on a few scores to come through from the other guys. So anyway, on to the other game. Brentford Leeds. On Brentford, first of all.
But did we watch Brentford this week?
We didn't watch them, but they got a draw at Palace.
Oh, we watched Brighton.
Yeah.
Brentford, I mean,
shouldn't have got a point. Palace should have put them to the sword.
But they have been pretty good, Brentford.
Oh yeah.
They're going to finish mid-table probably from what we've seen. Yeah, what 13th maybe.
Yeah, 13th. I think they'll be further down, but I don't think they'll get in the relegation.
Would you say that further down is mid-table?
I know, but I don't think they're going to finish.
To me, mid-table is 9, 10, 11, 12. That's about it.
Mid-table for me is what 8th to 13th.
That's probably.
I would say if you finished 8th, would you call someone saying mid-table?
So not in the European places.
I don't think that's mid-table.
I think it's 9 to 13.
It was mid-table.
9, 10, 11, 12.
10th to 14th.
I think it's 9, 10, 11, 12.
So what's 9th?
It's mid-table, 9, 10, 11, 12.
The Callum saying it isn't.
I mean, it's like
you've said 8th is mid-table.
Yeah.
That's not.
I think 3.
That's fine for European places. That's not mid-table.
That's fine for Europe.
The 3 that are in the top half and the 3 that are in the bottom half.
Honestly,
is mid-table.
it depends on like what those teams, who's actually close to them points wise, and what they're fighting for. Like there could be teams like Southampton have been a mid-table team. They've not been fighting for anything for the last few years. And that depends on what place that is.
They definitely were mid-table last year.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they definitely.
I mean, this was 2 teams last year, Brentford, Leeds, that were fighting to stay up. I think they played each other last game of the season. Leeds beat them, and then that's what kept them up.
There's a bit of needle between these two teams because of
Leeds have got needle with most teams, I think.
That's true, but this is a surprising one because Brentford are just this nice wee club, like Bournemouth and that.
We play at the G-Tech Uni Arena.
Looking forward to the scores. We've obviously talked a bit about Leeds. What do we think?
I think Brentford will win here.
Yeah,
because
they're going
to have to play Bamford, who's not fit.
Yeah,
Rodrigo's out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure.
There's injury with Pickford.
Have you still got him in fantasy?
No, I subbed them out.
I've still got him.
Not a -4 for that, just a straight spot.
Who did I sub him out for?
Can't be good.
Can't be that good.
I don't. Thank goodness for that. So you've gone for a 2-1 win to Brentford.
Yes.
Fair enough. I've gone for a 2-2 draw.
And I went for a 1-1 draw. I don't see teams. I don't think they've got good enough players to score 2 goals.
I think they're exciting. I think
they were exciting with Rodrigo.
They've now got Sinisterra though. Who's started playing. He scored at the midweek.
I scored against us.
So fair enough. So 2 draws and a win for Brentford for Heggie.
Decent.
On to quite a big game. It's just not a 3 o'clock kickoff.
Another London derby.
It's a strange one. How is that a 3 o'clock kickoff? Chelsea, West Ham.
Well, look at the games that are on this weekend. Like,
I know, but
Merseyside derby is obviously bigger, and then obviously the last game.
They could have been in. They could have been in a.
No, because they don't like showing the big teams at home, and it's not other big teams.
I know you've discussed this before. I know, but it's just it's still frustrating.
Man, you're at home to Arsenal.
So yeah, Chelsea, West Ham. Chelsea, of course, they're looking like they're struggling, but they're making a lot of signings, and they're going to jail at some point, surely. But it's not happening soon.
They're playing against another team that's struggling as well, though. West Ham have not looked clever.
They haven't, but they had a good result yesterday, and at the weekend.
I know, but they haven't been playing great.
No,
they don't ever really play great.
They just don't look like they've clicked. Whereas I think when West Ham are on it, they look brilliant. Like last year, the last 2 years they've been brilliant. Obviously got that run to semi-finals in Europa. Didn't get to the final, obviously, not quite with them.
Things with West Ham, I think they're just they've thrived and they've been just so strong and powerful going forward. And it's like they're good at counter attack. They're good at holding teams off.
Yeah.
Bowen's been non-existent.
He has been, and that's not great, especially with the World Cup coming up. You'd have thought he'd have tried to push for a spot. Yeah, he definitely is.
He's never a starter in that, but he was.
But he's not. He's definitely in around the squad.
Is it a 26-man squad again? I think they said.
Is it?
I potentially.
In the way Sancho's playing as well, he'll definitely go ahead of
Top
Fulham.
three.
Yeah, even Rashford maybe if he keeps going.
Rashford's not been in the last couple of squads.
I know.
He's not a terrible shout though, because he can play multiple positions. And they like taking players like that to the World Cup.
Yeah.
Plus, if Saka's the starter on the right, he's similar in terms of a left footer on the right sort of thing. So it keeps it
Anyway,
the same.
back on this game, of course, Chelsea, as we said, looking like they're struggling, but you never know. And this is a London derby. Both teams are going to have to try and click for this game. I mean, the last time Chelsea were in a London derby, it was the Spurs game, was it not?
That was nice cam game, nice cam affair.
And Chelsea were excellent. I think they were actually quite unlucky to come away from that without the 3 points.
There'll be any new signings playing for either team?
Fofana maybe for Chelsea.
Maybe.
See him playing.
Maybe
He's been playing for Leicester.
Yeah, like he's fit.
Yeah.
Paqueta might play. I mean, he didn't.
Keita played at the week. During the week.
He didn't look particularly great, but again, it's his first game. Emerson's another one.
He doesn't speak English, Paqueta.
I mean, Callum put Paqueta on fraud watch after seeing him for 10 minutes.
Well, there's a ball that came across the box, and him and Emerson just left it for each other, and it's like, it was a certain goal.
And
One of them hits it.
They can both speak Portuguese.
I know.
That's just poor.
But yeah, what have we gone for then, Jacob?
For this game, I've gone for a Chelsea win, and I think the fact that they've bought loads and loads of defenders, I think they'll get a clean sheet. I've gone 2-0.
Will they play the 10 defenders?
I think we'll go just 9 of them, and then Havertz
to do
be a
nothing.
defensive attacker, not get a goal, not get an assist.
Yeah,
I've gone 2-1.
2-1. I've also gone 2-1. We've all backed Chelsea. I just don't think we're bold enough to
At
not put
Stamford
Chelsea's win here.
Bridge, West Ham
That's
have been
the-
good. It's the easy.
I just think Chelsea will win.
Yeah.
It's not,
We've got to get something on the board here.
I'll get some bolder calls later.
So anyway, on to Newcastle against Palace. Of course, Newcastle we discussed. Isaac looked good.
Looks very good.
He does look very good.
Who do you think starts when Wilson's fit?
Both. With St.
Think potentially they go
Wilson
both?
can play out wide.
I think so.
It'll be Almiron that gets.
I mean, some Newcastle fans think Almiron's been their best player this year.
He has been
It
decent.
was decent.
It was good in pre-season when he scored.
Oh,
like
he
8
scored
goals.
so many goals. I think as well, talking about Palace, how good is Zaha?
Yeah.
Very-
scoring
very
again.
Surprised a big team didn't go in for him
No.
I
today.
think because it's 12-month contract, and I know that Palace are. It's like similar when a smaller club's got a really, really good player. They just weren't going to sell him for anything close to his actual value.
Thing is with Palace, of course, they went 1-up against Brentford, but then Zaha after the game complained,
He was
raging, and
That shows how much he cares as well. I think
Yeah.
he's a massive Palace
Yeah.
fan.
yeah.
So,
The thing is with that, he was complaining about how he just doesn't understand why his team did what they did. They
Yeah.
were pushing, pressing, and they were all over Brentford,
And
and
then
then they dropped back to 5-4-1, and he was the single man up front, and he was so confused with that. He doesn't know. People don't know if that's him talking about his
The team of
the team of Vieira.
which is weird because if you look at that Palace side, they don't look like a team that would be able to sit in and stuff like that. They play midfielders that are footballers, not midfielders that are all about that one striker and just sitting in sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean the new signing. What's he called again? From
Takuri? No.
I think it's Takuri. that's what
Takuri
it's
was
called.
brilliant for them.
He's been brilliant. He's one of those players that kind of breaks
Yeah,
up, play a bit
definitely.
more.
And Luke
He's
as
a good
well
ball
has been
player.
very good in setting up.
Jeffrey
Yeah.
He runs about. He does a good bit of
He
running.
runs about.
He does stuff.
That's
That's what he
the
does.
analysis
He's
you
one of
use,
those
isn't it?
players that he gets about the pitch.
Oh, like, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, but they're playing against Newcastle, who at home in particular look very, very good.
I think their record at home's ridiculous. I think they've won all bar the Man City, which they drew
Yeah.
in the last like 10 or something.
So what have we gone here then?
I've went Newcastle home win. I've gone 2-1. It's close. I think Zaha will score again.
I've gone 2-1 as well.
Callum, what are you thinking?
I've gone 1-0.
Oof.
I've gone 1-0 to Newcastle. I can understand you saying with Palace been good in the attack.
I don't think
Zaha-
Newcastle have been that good defensively either.
No,
but I think-
apparently they've not.
I think for me, Palace play quite well when teams press onto them and they can find the space in behind their defence.
Like they've done with Man City.
you know, think-
Even with Arsenal, those reverse balls, and because Newcastle, the formation they play, I just don't know if that'll work the same way. I could be completely
I
wrong.
think Newcastle will play like that because of their midfield, because
Right.
they've got Bruno and Joelinton who are
Bruno
pressing
back?
machines. Well, in fantasy, I think back as it's
I don't know.
and
I think they'll have. I just think with the formation they play, it's just different to the teams that it's Palace are able to really hurt.
I think the match-up of this game will be Zaha versus Trippier, and Trippier goes far too high to deal with Zaha.
Maybe.
And I think Zaha will get a bit of joy in this game.
Plus, Newcastle's centre half, like Dan Burns not blessed with pace.
Botman as well is pretty slow.
Yeah.
Like,
And then it'll be Shaw as well, but the other one won't he?
Yeah.
I think he's out injured.
Is he?
I think so.
No screamers from him. It's a shame that. So I've got 1-0.
Yeah.
So all going for wins for Newcastle there. On to the fifth game of the day it's the fifth game of the day.
Okay.
Forest against Bournemouth.
I say rather than predict the score, we try and predict who's going to be in Forest's 20-man squad. Because they now have a squad of 40 players or something.
To be fair, they've lost something like 15 players.
Alright, but they've bought
20.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
What's the best player they got?
Jesse Lingard.
Emmanuel Dennis. He did well last year at a really poor Watford side.
Unless he's struggling after that.
I mean, Gibbs White, for the fee they've paid for him, he must be good.
When
I've
did they
not
get-
seen so much.
When did they get McKenna in? He's a player.
I mean, they're led well by Joe Worrell. So
Maybe Nico Williams, honestly. He's been pretty good for them.
he has actually been pretty
Really
good.
good for them.
I just don't like that it's a fullback wearing 7. I know I'm a centre half that wears
Cancelo.
10, but I just don't like fullbacks wearing 7.
Forest, Bournemouth, it's just on paper sounds like a bit of a snooze fest.
It's just
But-
a championship level game, isn't
Yeah,
it? And I know
it is.
that's so bad.
really disrespectful, isn't
It is so disrespectful.
But it's going to make sense.
It's 19th v 20th.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the vibe.
That is the vibe, I get that.
So I think whoever wins this will be like, yes, here we go, but really, most teams in the league are going to beat both of them.
Can Bournemouth be like that with no manager?
I mean, they've done well against who did they play?
Wolves.
But again, Wolves can't win a game either.
Wolves
They
should have
barely
scored.
lose as well, Wolves. They just draw.
Yeah.
And I know Stu loves XG, and Wolves should have won that quite comfortably based on XG. So
But as you say about Brighton, it doesn't matter if you can't take your chance.
No, it does
Wolves
not.
have just bought another striker though. So
Who did they-
spent 50 million,
it's the big
5-year deal.
is there not a big striker that Chelsea were linked with? I don't honestly. I'm not even.
I don't know. I just know
pretend
they've
to
spent
fucking
decent
know his
amount of
name.
money.
His name's ridiculous.
And
to-
considering they play one striker and Jimenez is a top striker, they must be decent.
Yeah. But anyway, on to our predictions for that.
Yeah.
Jacob, what have you gone for?
Forest Bournemouth, I've went for a really boring 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. You think Bournemouth get a result away?
Yeah, I do. They got a draw against a better side during midweek against Wolves.
I've gone 2-0 Forest.
2-0
I think
Forest.
Forest will look really good defensively, other than that game against City.
You think?
I mean,
you think a back three of what Cooper, Waterall, and McKenna looks good?
It's as solid as it gets.
It definitely is.
No, they have
It's a
no
back
solid.
Yeah.
Against Spurs, they did pretty well defensively, other than the 2 goals. And then West Ham, another big team, they kept a clean sheet.
Fair enough.
Henderson in goal as well as a top keeper.
as a top keeper. Saved 2 penalties already this year.
Yeah.
Could be a fantasy pick.
Definitely.
The problem is they're probably going to concede a lot of goals eventually.
Yeah,
I've just said how good defensively they are, and then you've just said
They are though, aren't they? And I think they'll concede another one in this game. I think they'll lose, or they'll win actually, 2-1, but they will concede a goal to Bournemouth with Keith Moore.
Not big Dom Solanke or
Poor
Ryan
Keith
Christie.
Moore out, jump McKenna. Honestly, that's happening. It's happening. Anyway, on to Spurs against Fulham. 2 teams that have started the season pretty well. Spurs, of course, yesterday did drop points.
who do you think will be
West Ham.
happier with their start?
Spurs or Fulham?
Yeah.
Fulham. Spurs. Oh, I
Straight-
don't know actually.
Straight away, Fulham.
Spurs are
obviously
unbeaten.
No, I'm beaten there. But Fulham, everyone was
Fulham
thinking
would have
they'd go back
expected
down.
them almost to have nothing near enough. Mitro's got 5 and 5, so when your striker's already banging them in this early doors, it bodes well for the future, doesn't it?
Yeah. This will be the game I'm watching on Saturday. If Rangers win. If they don't, I will not be watching football for the rest of the weekend. Other than Man United, Arsenal.
You'll still be raging. He'll be unhappy and he'll be sitting there just wanting me to join him. I know what it'll be like.
I don't blame him.
That's fair enough. But yeah, as I said, Spurs, apparently their fans are not happy with the way they're playing. They're playing boring football. But they're happy with the results. That's what I'm hearing from lots of Spurs
Weirdly,
fans.
their best player from the last couple of years, or up there, Son, is just not get going this season at all.
Like Kane's been their best player again. I mean, that's obviously doesn't sound crazy. I know. But Son was the one that was carrying them
Yeah,
last season,
definitely.
and it's Kane that's come back into him.
I can't believe you're disrespecting Emerson Royale like that. He has been a player.
Abysmal. Don't rate him.
Yeah, no, I still don't rate him.
But yeah, I've gone for a 3-1 Spurs win. I think they'll win, but I just don't see them keeping that clean sheet. I think Mitrovic will score.
I've also gone 3-1.
I've gone.
Mitrovic to score?
Yeah.
No, it'll be Pereira.
Pereira.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just 'cause you
I'd
want
love that because he's in my team. Come
Are you
on.
really starting my way to Tottenham though?
Of course I am.
Out of hope,
Aye. But I'm not that hopeful though, because I do have a 2-1 Spurs win. I think, as I said, Spurs are boring. They're not going to run away with games, I don't think. They're not that team right now. They might kick into gear though.
What was Conte's Chelsea like? Did they run away with games?
Yeah, they started.
Because they had Diego Costa.
Fabregas, and they were very good.
I mean, Kane.
I know, but who's he got behind him?
Kane or Costa, there's a question.
I mean, that season Costa was an absolute animal.
I know.
Absolute animal.
Anyway, so yeah, we've all gone for wins there for Spurs.
Yeah.
Hopefully that does not happen. On to Wolves Southampton.
How much you got to say?
I mean,
I've got a bit to say.
Wolves are a bit like they're poor. They can't score. We've already discussed it a little bit.
Did you watch their game against Newcastle last week? Did you feel that? I don't know if you've seen Pedro Neto pushing over Fraser, then setting up Jimenez. It would have been 2-0, 5 to go, and then it obviously went to VAR and it got ruled out for. I mean, if it's any other player, they don't fall over. But it's Ryan Fraser, who's 5'4", and he's went flying, and it is a foul. But I do feel if there's no VAR, people hardly even talk about it afterwards in the pub, sort of thing. Like it's because it's a wee guy they've pushed over. So Wolves probably feel hard done to them, but yeah, they can't win games.
No, they definitely cannot.
I don't see them winning this one either.
No.
I think Southampton have looked very good.
I think they have as well.
Yeah.
Like, looking at that, the centre halves we've got in there.
I saw they sold Romeo.
Ketchup or something.
Ketchup.
I saw they sold Romeo yesterday.
I know.
I always thought him and Ward-Prowse were a good wee partner.
They were.
I thought
They were.
so.
But they've got some good new players in Lavia, they're very good, and Mara.
The Newcastle Palace. The drippy balls. And
There's some serious drippy ballers. I mean, the keeper's a drippy baller as well.
Aye, Joe Aribo. That other boy from Bordeaux, as you like to point out.
Mara, yeah. And obviously, as I said, Lavia.
He's a good goal.
Very good goal, yeah. He's 18, I think he is. Belgian.
He's really young.
Yeah, he's good players for
I
Southampton.
think Man City have got a couple of weird deals where Southampton buy them for whatever it was, 10-15 million, but Man City can buy them back for double it.
They get 2 today as well.
Yeah, from same.
They've just signed Maitland-Niles as well. I don't think he's going to start, but
Another Premier League.
He might be the Romeo replacement.
look at that Lycan or fucking don't know.
Lamina.
No.
Centre man.
He's got
The ankle's
Oh.
name. He keeps coming on, big beard.
big beard.
Yeah, aye. But Southampton, I do think they do look pretty good, and they look like they're not struggling to score goals the same way Wolves are. But Wolves being the home side here, and I just think they're very good at getting draws, aren't they?
I think it's going to be a draw 1-0.
I think it'll be 1-1 as well.
I think Southampton will win.
Yeah.
I'm going 2-0.
2-0 away from home.
Jory will brace.
No, he'll get one.
Fair
They'll
enough.
go 1 assist.
The Bordeaux boy will get another one.
Who's the Bordeaux boy, Cam?
Mara.
Cam's the only man allowed to say his name.
Go on now. I thought it was Kamara as well, but I was shouting his name. But yeah. Anyway, on to the 5:30 kickoff, and it could be the final game for Steven Gerrard. Or do we think that's a bit harsh?
I've been reading a lot about it today, and apparently he's going to get the game after Man City.
I think that's fair.
Leicester at home.
That's fair.
Okay, Leicester away, sorry.
It will be a loser gets sacked game between Rodgers and
I think
Gerrard,
right. Yeah.
because Rodgers came out before the game, an hour before the game, was saying the same stuff Parker was saying. So
I mean, Rodgers has been let down. Gerrard's not been let down the same way.
No.
Gerrard's been able to spend. He's slightly unlucky
Well,
with his best centre half getting that big long-term injury, but Gerrard spent decent money.
do you know what his net spend is?
No.
40 million.
What was Rodgers?
Well, definitely more than 40 million.
No, for this summer, I mean.
No, I don't know. For
But
this
what did his
summer,
next spend? How
what's Gerrard's net
Who did
spend?
Villa
How?
spend?
Villa.
Who did Villa spend?
I just saw it on Twitter.
Because they've bought
I mean, who
Digne
they
for
sold?
20 odds.
Simon Jordan was banging on about it as well.
Yeah, who have they sold?
I don't know.
Because
but that
Grealish
is
isn't part of that, because Grealish before Gerrard.
Yeah, that is on net. It might be across the last 2 seasons.
Aye, that's probably, right, so it's nonsense.
I don't know.
I think that is.
I saw on Twitter Gerrard's net spend is 40 million.
I think it's more.
I think it's more than that as well.
I also did think it was more.
Because I can think of 3 players straight away that add up to about
I'm
70
trying to think of
million.
players that. Who have they sold other than Grealish? But that was
I
before
think
Gerrard,
they
yeah. But anyway, Villa are looking like they're struggling. They get. I mean, they had 2-1 yesterday against Arsenal was flattering for them. Arsenal were very, very good, and I think that it's more about Arsenal just not having their shooting boots on more than anything in that game.
I mean, Martinez had a stinker for them as well.
he did,
Just
to be
gave,
fair.
just gave Arsenal 2 goals, which you just can't afford to do.
I think.
No, he is an ex-Arsenal player, so
Yeah,
you
he
need
was-
to expect.
He obviously had his Arsenal shot underneath.
I don't blame
But
The question with this game though is not will City win, it is will Haaland get another hat-trick? That is a better question.
The fact
I think.
that
very
the
good
fact that the last 2 games Haaland's not even needed to play 90, so he's not going to be knackered.
They only had to play 30.
Yeah, but all you do is stand in the right position and tap the ball into the net. It's incredible.
Alan McCoy said it's the hardest thing in the world to do.
Oh, it definitely is.
I mean, think about players that used to do it. They make a habit of doing it. Like Chicharito.
How many goals do you think in this Man City side, if you took Haaland out, would a prime Chris Boyd get?
He's getting at least 20.
He's minimum getting 20.
How many would you get?
I'm not scoring.
I think I would genuinely score 3 goals.
I think in a league season, I think you could score some goals.
If I played 90 minutes 38 times as a striker for Man City.
What if you're taking penalties?
Oh, I'm taking penalties, I get a few. I mean, it depends how many penalties we get, that's how many goals I get.
Just dive about the box.
You're definitely scoring a tap in here or there.
You are, look at the goals, some of the goals he scored.
You'd like to think so.
You're probably going to struggle.
Foden not passing it across, shooting, and then if it's against Villa, with this game, this is the perfect game. Have Martinez roll out play.
That's another factor as well, though. The big players aren't passing to me. They're just putting themselves.
They barely passed the Haaland. think about the Foden one. He's tried to shoot it. You're definitely scoring that one. You might struggle with the one. The first finish is a nice finish. The other one's a hit. You've actually got to out-jump some players.
We're not winning that.
Not winning that hit. Yeah, you're scoring one of the 3. You've got to. There's no way you're huffing and puffing in the halfway line for that mid-second.
I don't even think I'll go back. I generally think the furthest back I'd go would be the D of the box. Yeah, they're not going to play a chip through ball to me, obviously, because I'm not outpacing it. Although the slowest centre half is probably quicker than the 3 of us.
Fair enough.
So just stay there. Play the Messi rule. Yeah. Just stay in the right position.
So on our scores for this, we're just going to go for the default score for Man City now. 4-0.
Yeah.
We just hope we're not bold enough to go anything crazy, because I tried that.
Well, Villa are slightly better than Forest.
And it's away.
And Gerrard might see this as a European game like he used to do at Rangers and just kind of shut up shop. But I don't get it. I'm looking at Villa and they're playing 2 strikers, they're playing Coutinho. And Gerrard never once done that at Rangers, playing 2 strikers.
They play a different formation depending if they're home and away.
Yeah,
they're definitely playing their away formation.
They've got to.
Yeah. They've got to go that 4-3-3, sit in, have players pacey either side, pick a striker, keeps going between Watkins in. Pick his number 1 striker.
I think he has to go for Watkins. I think you hit them on the pace, hit them with pace in the counter. That's all they can do.
I think that's the best way to beat City.
That's the only way to beat City. That's what St Maximin. That's what he did.
I know, but Watkins is not St Maximin, unfortunately.
He can bully a centre back. I'm telling you, he can.
I mean, Ings finishes a chance better than Watkins.
Yeah, I think you go.
It's also true. But I would go Watkins personally.
I would go both. I would go one in the wing. I would put one in the right. I think Watkins in the right wing.
Maybe that, but you can still counter with Watkins.
You're not having Bailey or Bundia?
I would get Buendia to get him out of here.
I wouldn't have any in the wing. The other wing, I would just have Coutinho floating that area.
I
actually wouldn't.
I would have Bailey, to be honest. Just pace.
Yeah.
You just got to go pace. Yeah. But yeah, so we've all gone for 4-0 in that game. On to the second last game of the game week, which is the first game on the Sunday. Brighton Leicester. And obviously, as we've already discussed about Leicester, we watched them play against Man United tonight. They looked like they were trying to push for a goal, but they don't have.
I think Maddison being back is a big plus for them, though. I think he's a great player. He obviously missed, was it 2 games he missed? And he looked, he nearly scored a free kick tonight. He looked lively, but they don't really, Man U have not had a great start. They didn't really, the best chance I can think of is that 30-yard free kick. Can't think of much else.
To be fair to Man U though, they haven't really had an awful start. They had 2 really bad games, but they've looked good since.
It's just the 4-0.
It's the Brentford. It's the capitulation. That's what it really is.
It was embarrassing. 37 minutes. Brentford shouldn't be 4-0 up against any team in this league.
I think it shows more though that they've come back from that defeat and won their next 3 games.
I think they're getting more defensively solid. Anyway, we're not on them yet. We've got another 2 minutes to discuss Brighton and Leicester first.
Me and Callum watched the second half of the Brighton Fulham game, and what a game that was.
Very exciting. Apparently the first half wasn't quite as good, but it was end to end, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was probably the best half we've seen this season.
Yeah, that's how good it was. It was really good to watch.
Brighton were brilliant to watch.
It was the subs that Brighton brought on, Lamptey and things like that came on. They were excellent.
Chaos.
It was chaos. And was it Fulham, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They're just as good in the counter as well. Mitrovic is just a handful always. But Brighton are just a good side, aren't they?
They're no longer what you used to think of them. You're now just thinking of them as like that 8th, 9th, 10th best team in the Prem, just at home against any other side. You're like, they'll win. Away from home, they might get a draw, sort of thing. Like
the problem still is put the ball in the back of the net. They
I'm not
struggled to
amazing
do it against Fulham. They scored one, didn't they?
Did you see though? They kind of played like a false nine first half. They didn't have.
And
And
then
then start Welbeck.
When Welbeck's not there, they've not. I don't know what the script is with Undav. I know he smashed it in Belgium, but it's going
to take him a bit of
That's
time.
a
So did Fashion Sakala. Let's be real.
He's dodgy. But yeah, so what we're going for this one then?
I've went for a Brighton home win. Like I said, if they're playing a team that's not top 6 at home, I think they'll win. I've gone 2-1.
Okay.
And I've gone 2-1 as well.
Interesting. So we've both got Leicester scoring. I've got 2-0 Leicester. I think Brighton are just very good defensively. I think Leicester just look like they're struggling.
Probably the best keeper in the league so far this season as well.
I mean, other than the time
Percy's the worst keeper.
Yeah.
other than obviously
dropped the ball,
it's
but-
Philby played a bit of basketball and gave it to a player for an open goal and the guy blazes it over the bar.
To be fair though, it was a pretty hard chance.
Oh no, I mean I'm not going about
Yeah.
Fulham's player. It's more just what in the earth was Sanchez doing.
And it was a bit chaotic at the end of the game as well. Like, there was one time he tried to play the ball out from the back and they totally messed it up.
Yeah, he is. Obviously, we have discussed it. We're going to move on to Man United Arsenal, and I will compare. I think Sanchez a wee bit like Ramsdale that way. He does something, and he gets all flustered, and he tries to make up for it by doing something
Whereas as a
crazy.
goalie, you don't need to try and make
Do
up
not
for it.
do
You just
it.
got to just.
Ederson
do
does
your
it as
job.
well, but Ederson's just another level where he kind of gets away with it. And yeah, on to Arsenal, of course.
Game of the
Play
weekend.
Man United. It
No,
has
it's
to
not.
be
It's not actually. Talk shite.
The
Everton Liverpool.
Merseyside derby's game of the weekend.
For me,
for who?
I mean, it's the biggest game of the weekend.
there'll actually be a
Man U,
bit of
Arsenal.
tackles in.
Yeah,
I mean,
Man
I
U,
think-
Arsenal's the best two teams playing each other.
Aye, that's the biggest game then.
No, there's more to the biggest game than the best two teams playing.
It's
There's
not
three
Everton.
teams.
Like, come on, it's the friendliest derby out
There's
there.
the most red cards in football in Premier League.
But you all
It's
sit
this
with each
fixture.
other.
Not anymore. You're not being allowed for
Not
years.
allowed to?
Nah,
Oh,
it's been like
God.
10 years or something.
I thought you were still sitting with each other, but still, I mean, this is the game that's obviously excites me more because I'm an Arsenal
Oh,
fan.
definitely.
I'd say, I mean, more people are looking at this, but again, at the same time, more people are looking at this game than Everton.
But people are
Liverpool.
probably thinking, oh, I don't know. But more, I mean,
Also,
they're the two biggest sports.
Also, the old firm's on at the same time as the other one.
Yeah.
I don't think that would matter.
It does
More
because
people.
Scottish people won't watch them.
Right. But Everton, if Everton Liverpool was on at the same time as Man United Arsenal, I think you're going to get more people interested in the Man United Arsenal game. It's just that's just what it is.
Game, though.
Well, it does in my eyes. I don't know why it does in my eyes. It is.
Obviously, in your eyes, it's a big
But if I was an Arsenal fan, this is Man United Chelsea, or this was Man United Spurs, I'd still think it was a bigger game.
Man United Spurs is a bigger game than that.
It's just a game I'm more interested in.
That doesn't mean it's a bigger game.
It's more interesting. I think it's more interesting to more people.
That's,
Nah, I think that's wrong.
I don't agree, but it's a fair comment.
I think that's a fair comment.
It's a good way to back yourself. I like it. I think this is going to be a good game.
I think it is as well.
I think it's finally about time this Arsenal side have got a good test. Played 5-1-5, which is outstanding, but now let's see what you really like.
Yeah.
Play a good side away from home.
We've already slightly discussed Man United. They are looking better.
Yeah.
You
would have loved to
defensively look better as
You'd have
well.
loved to have played Man U a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. It would have been lovely, but
Shame.
we thought we were getting another Diddy, but
Aye.
it looks like Man United are starting to sort themselves out. As I said, defensively looking much better. The last two games they have won by a goal.
They
So-
still don't look like they know what they're wanting to do
No.
up front. Ronaldo keeps getting subbed on, and surely if they're picking their actual best team, Ronaldo would start. So clearly there's obviously more to it, but who knows what. Do you see?
Eggy, what do you think?
Window ends in an
I've
hour. Ronaldo looks like he's staying, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's staying.
Of course he's staying.
Surely he has to start soon then. You don't have 4 months of Ronaldo not playing.
I mean, especially with the World Cup coming up, he might be right.
I think he's more annoyed about it. I don't think Ten Hag's going to care.
No.
He looked rotten the night when he came on.
He did.
He did run about though, to be fair.
so slop.
Sorry, jogging out.
As when he lost the ball, he started jogging backwards, and I'm like, he knows it's his fault.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
well.
going to give a wild prediction here.
Oh,
Right.
Casemiro's going to have a nuke,
Really?
and so is De Gea.
oh,
And Arsenal's going to capitalise and win 3-1.
Oh, that would
Wow.
be wonderful.
Arsenal to win then.
I think Arsenal
At
will
Old
win this game.
Trafford. When did you last win at Old Trafford?
I don't know.
When did Brighton last win at Old Trafford? It's an element.
That is true. This Arsenal team, as we say, do look a bit special for an Arsenal team. We're no Man City.
They've been back. I think this Arsenal side have been special for a few years, Callum, but it's a bit different.
That's also true. No, I think Arsenal looking much better. I think you've got to. This is the kind of game where if you win this, people start talking about you. I don't think
Right.
we're anywhere near Man City, and I still think Liverpool will finish ahead of us.
I think if you win this, people say you're going to get top 4.
Yeah,
Which is hilarious because it's 6 games in.
yeah, but I think that's
I've seen Arsenal fans right now saying they're getting top 2 or 3. People are getting carried away. Let's just behave ourselves here. I think they will win.
Right, Higgy, you
but-
can't sit. I'm sorry, you can't
No.
sit there and say Arsenal fans when I'm the one that's the Arsenal fan.
No,
saying
but
it,
there is a lot of Arsenal.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
But there's
There is a lot of
right,
Arsenal
it
fans.
comes back to the same thing though, where there is a lot of idiots that support football teams, and it's always the idiots that say these things. Like Liverpool fans, there's like Everton fans.
I mean, we know stupid Liverpool fans just in our friendship.
Yeah, one of them's called Stuart Mill.
Exactly.
The majority of Arsenal fans believe they're getting top 4.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I would say 50% probably think they're getting top 3.
I mean, top 3 is not a wild.
I'm not saying
I
it's
top
crazy, I'm just
2.
saying let's relax, let's just get top 4. I think if they win this game, it just shows full intent and they will get top 4.
I think
because they're playing against a direct competitor for that position.
I don't think winning this game says yes, I'm going to get top 4.
I think it's
because they've got 11 more games against the top 6 sides. Like, it's just one game against a Man U side that's
how
been
many
up and
games,
down.
Jacob?
11 more games against top 6 sides.
No,
Do your
9
maths.
more.
Maybe I counted
You count Everton?
I count Everton. You not count them?
What Arsenal, to be fair?
They struggle usually.
Maybe Brighton you could count there.
Well, let me have Everton.
They might be Everton.
Because we do. I hate going to Goodison. I really hate it.
One day me and Callum will go to Goodison just to watch.
But so Higgy, you've gone for a 3-1 to Arsenal then?
Yeah, I'm very shocked no one else has went an Arsenal
Yeah.
one.
I have gone a 2-2. I've shat the bed.
Some serious splinters over here for you two sitting in the fence.
I mean, I think Arsenal the better
I think
side,
it'll be 2-2.
but it's at Old Trafford,
Yeah.
so I went a draw.
I'm
And
completely-
Callum had Man U win, then he had Arsenal win, and then he's went fuck it 2-0.
No, I genuinely just think it'll be 2-2.
Yeah.
I think we'll be the better side over the 90 minutes, but I think that they just have those moments in them, which is, I mean, fair enough. The amount of money they've spent on certain players and individuals, they're going to do that.
Yeah.
But I hope Higgy's right with the De Gea and Casemiro nukes. Would be great.
Would be good.
Would be great. And having 18 points after the first 6 games, that's unthinkable from an Arsenal fan from how crap they've been for years. So
It'd be really a dream weekend if Fulham could nick a wee point and Villa could nick a wee win.
Villa can nick a wee
Nick
win.
a wee win.
let's calm down. Honestly, I don't.
They don't need Villa to
I'm not.
make a
I know.
win.
I know we're
They're
ahead.
ahead of
I know
City
we're ahead
already.
of Man City, but I'm not even looking at them right now.
See if
Haaland is too good.
See if Man City lose their next 3 games and you win your next 3 games, are you titled favourites?
We're probably contenders at that point.
That's such an absurd thing.
At what point do you become favourites?
When we-
25 points clear. With
No,
9 games left.
I think
10 points
if we become favourites, no. Oh right, are you looking at how many clear or at what point in the season?
Yeah.
Oh, how many points clear are you favourite? I know this is probably
I
never
mean,
going to happen.
It depends on what
I mean,
time it is in the
it counts
season.
the
but
Leicester,
really.
so the World Cup,
The World Cup, if we've got to be favourites for like 8 points clear.
I don't think you're
I think
favourites.
it's-
5 points clear.
I think it has to be about 12.
I mean, I don't think it really matters at
I know
that
it
point.
doesn't.
Honestly,
Obviously it does.
I think they're more looking at it if we are. I'm honestly just happy if we are in and around Man City come the World Cup right now. That's all that really. That's what we need to focus on right now.
happy if that's the
That's
case.
all we need. If we can get there, that's incredible.
The
But I
focus-
think we've got to focus on getting 4th anyway.
The focus should
Or
really be,
third actually, because that's set your sight slightly higher.
the
Don't
focus
be
should
crazy.
really be being above Spurs at the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like
And Chelsea and Man United as well.
Yeah.
Because Man United, as we said, are getting better.
Just quickly, do you think if Liverpool drop points that's them out the title race?
probably.
I think they're already out it, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, they're not, but I think
Well,
Man
they-
City just look too good.
They're 4 points behind City.
I think it's more than
I
that.
think it's more than that.
There's
City's in 13, they're in 8, it's 5.
5 points.
7 behind the
They were-
title contenders Arsenal.
They were like 10 points behind at one point last year and they nearly clawed it
that's
back.
true. And it's so early
But
in the
didn't.
season.
That point gap was just clearly too much.
And history will never remember the second places. So
Well, they remembered Arsenal for years because we at least won like an
Fourth
Invincible
for
final.
years.
No, from way back. Come on now.
I mean,
I
I'm
don't, see,
I'm
we
looking-
don't even remember it.
we didn't watch football
I know, I'm opening the history books, but they do remember it. It's just not.
Back
not
when Everton won
it's
league
not special.
titles. So relevant.
80s.
Aye.
I remember it. That was about back then.
Give it a wrap it up.
Anyway,
My
yeah.
dad doesn't even remember it.
Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Of course, comment down below any ideas you have as usual, and like and subscribe. Thank you.